Hey y'all, I'm back with a new deck profile today. It's on my Dragon World Thunder Empire build. I've been waiting to do this deck profile for a little while until I personally felt the deck was ready and got some more test playing with it. Before I start this video, I'd like to thank Jamal Martin, who's on the North America page. He's an amazing player. Me and my roommate have gone up to North Carolina to go hang out with him and play some games with him, and he's just an all-around good guy to be around. Also, I'd like to thank Brandon Aramis because he helped me first of all get a lot of these cards because he does all these wonderful buys that a lot of other people don't do, and he's another great person to play against. He's really well known with the rules, and he's a really good person in the community as well. And that's all I have to really say right now. All right, on to the deck profile. For my buddy, I run Demon Lord Dragon Bats. He's an awesome card. No other card, honestly, I'd rather have as my buddy, personally. He's a 7/2/4. His call cost is only 1 gauge. When you enter battle phase, he gains double attack, and then if you're at 4 life or less, he gains triple attack. And the other great thing about him is during your turn, he cannot be popped by your opponent's cards. So unless they have a way of bouncing him, they're going to have to deal with this big threat on board. Alright, on to my size 3 monsters I run one of, actually. One Espada Dragon Officer Chirik. He's a 7/2/7. His call cost is only 2 gauge, which really isn't an issue for this deck. It can build gauge pretty fast. He cannot be destroyed by your opponent's monster effects, so they can't ambush Ibuki him, they can't Graveyard him, they can only use their spells to get rid of him. And once card attacks, destroy all monsters in your opponent's field. Then you deal 1 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. But if you're at 4 life or less, instead of just destroying monsters, he destroys spells and items as well and deals damage for every card destroyed. So you can easily get off, if your opponent has a full field of 5, like 1 set spell, 1 item, 3 monsters, 5 damage just for him attacking on his own. Next, I run 4 of the buddy. You want to honestly get to your buddy because he's an amazing card and he is clutch to win a lot of these games with this deck. Next, for my other size 2, I run 4 of the bats from the start deck, Resurrected Archdragon Bats. He is a 7/2/4, just like the original bats. He has the same ability of not being able to be destroyed, but he's got the other ability of when you enter battle phase, if you have an item equipped, he gains double attack. And then if you have 4 life or less, you pop a monster in your opponent's field. So you can clear some centers that are susceptible to destruction. Or left or right, as long as they can't nullify destruction. Next, I run, for my size 1s, I run 4 Misfiring Demon Globes. He's, personally for me, he's a better Flare Fang, because his ability can be procced multiple times every turn that he remains on board. As long as he's on field, every turn you can gain engage and draw a card by calling another Thunder Empire monster. He's a 3/1/1 size 1, and he has the other ability of when he attacks, he chooses a card, a monster or item on your field, a Thunder Empire, and gives a critical +1. So you can make your bats a 3 crit, or you can make himself a 2 crit, or your double attack weapon a 2 crit, your double attack size 1 a 2 crit, as long as, or your Arc Dragon Sword a 3 crit, so they're pressured and having to shield that. Next, for my size 1s, it's everyone's favorite little penguin, Replenisher Pentar. He's a 3/2/1. He has the ability of when he enters field, if you have an item equipped, draw a card. 3k stat, it might seem minuscule to some people, but when you have the Arc Dragon Sword equipped, he becomes a 5k on his own, and they can hit a lot of monster cards on your opponent's field easy. And like I said, with globes, you can easily turn him into a 3 crit monster for just attacking. Next for my size 1s, actually lastly for my size 1s, 2 Trilight of the Black Sword. He's a dual world card. He's a Black Dragon Thunder Empire card, Dragon World, Darkness Dragon World. He's a 1/1/1 with a built-in double attack, and then when this card attacks, you may pay gauge and destroy a card on your opponent's field. Alright, on to my size zeros that are 2 of, and the only size zeros that run in this deck for now. It is the Boomerang Dragon that came out in Dragon Fighters, the dual card for Dragon World and Danger World. He's a 1/1/1. He returns to hand at the end of the battle that this card attacked, and if you're at 3 life or less, he gains crit, so he becomes a 3/2. This will be going out for the new Thunder Empire version of this card, but the Thunder Empire version has better stats, better crit, and it can be powered up by the sword and proc globes, unlike this one. Alright, on to my items. I run 4 Arc Dragon Sword. It's the main weapon of the deck. It's a 6/2 for an equip cost of 1 gauge. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's cards effects. And when this card while this card is on field, not when it attacks. While this card is on field, all Thunder Empire monsters on your field gain 2k. I wish it was all Thunder Empire because that would make the sword an 8k on its own, but honestly, that 2k to your monsters is pretty good. Makes your bats a 9k so you can hit a Thora while the shoes are equipped. It makes your Pentars a 5k. It makes your globes a 3k. No, it makes them a 5k as well, actually. And it's a pretty nifty weapon because it can be popped, so your opponents usually have to try to bounce it if they want to get rid of it or nullify its abilities. Next, for my other weapon that I run in this deck, I run 3 Dual Spark. It's the Dragon Anthem clone of the Thunder Empire deck. It's a 5/1 gauge and life equip cost. It can only attack center, but it's not really a problem. If your opponent's running a center closed deck, it can link attack to beat centers, or if your opponent has playing open center, you can swing with globes, give this a crit, swing twice with this for 4 damage, swing twice with bats for another 4 damage that your opponent's going to have to keep constantly shielding because they don't want to get down to 5 life against this deck. Next, for my spells, I'm running 2 Green Dragon Shield. It's the original null, gain a life and nullify an attack. Next, it is a staple in most Dragon Ball decks now, 4 Blue Dragon Shields, because it gives you, whenever you nullify an attack, not whenever, this card nullifies an attack, and you gain a gauge. And resources in this deck, you can build a gauge pretty fast, but sometimes it's always good to just have that excess gauge if your opponent tries to clear field rather than push you that 4 life break. Next is the new Dragon Shield that came out in this set for Arc Dragon, or Thunder Dragons to be specific, Thunder Empire. It's Arc Dragon Shield. Its cast cost is 1 gauge. You nullify an attack and draw a card, and you can only cast this card if you have a Thunder Empire on field. It's really good because you can draw into another shield, or you can draw into your monsters and items that if you just don't happen to have them. This deck does a lot of hand filtering, honestly, which I think is pretty amazing. Next is a new staple for Dragon World. I run 4 Bats X Link. It's pretty amazing. It's a really good spell for Dragon World in general, but I feel like Thunder Empire can utilize it a lot easier than other decks, even though every Dragon World deck can use this pretty easy. It's just this deck makes it a lot easier because most of the cards already have built-in double attack. You may only cast this card if you attack 3 or more times this turn. Counter, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 to go in your hand, the other 2 go into your gauge, and you gain 1 life. And honestly, I could see why this is one of the more expensive spells that came out in this set for the X series. Next is a new card I'm really loving in both my Sun Dragon deck and my Thunder Empire deck. It's Heaven Sunshine. It's basically a card that makes every one of your 2-ofs or 3-ofs, 4-ofs, whatever, an extra card in deck, because you pay a life to cast this card, you destroy a monster in your opponent's field, and then you call a monster equal to the size of the monster you destroyed on your opponent's field by paying its call cost. So I think that's pretty cool because you can get you can basically search whatever monster you need for that situation, or if anything, you're destroying your opponent's center with this card, and then you're searching your deck for monster, whatever monster they had on field. And at that point, a lot of the monsters you already have in deck can just plus you by being called to the field. Next is a 2 of Gage Excel in this deck. To be fair, this deck starting off can go through its own gauge if you don't have the right combos. So it's nice to run this as a 2 of because you, with this card, if you have a Thunder Empire in field, you gain 3 gauge and 1 life. A Thunder Empire monster, you can't use it if you only have a weapon. Which is pretty good because you can use that excess gauge to use a Tri-Light's ability, or to go into your impact if you just happen to not have any other Gage Excel in hand at the time. Next is an interesting tech hit I've been trying. Is 2 military tactics, 2 stage plan. When your attack is nullified and you're at 5 life or less, counter stand a card on your field. So you can restand a weapon, you can restand bats to give him an extra attack, or if he's been rested, you can restand him so he can still go into that triple attack that he hadn't gotten to because he was rested. Lastly, the most broken impact to come out for Dragon World. Honestly, I think this is better than every other one they've had. It's 3 Thunderlance X Tempest Buster. Its cast cost is 3 gauge. The requirements are both you and your opponent have to have an open center. Your opponent has to be at 5 life or less, and you have to have attacked 3 times or more this turn, which is pretty easy in Thunder Empire because, like I said, just about everything has double attack now for this deck. You deal 5 damage to your opponent. They cannot come back from 0. They cannot reduce it or nullify this impact. It's basically saying if your opponent has a 5 life or less, it's game. If as long as you have this card in the gauge this card, the gauge, and the monster is required to get this ability off. So far the deck has been doing pretty well in test plays. Like I said, I got to play some really cool people up in North Carolina, including not just including Jamel, but some of his locals there, and they're pretty good players. They're fun to play against. They have great personalities, and it's always fun going to another community and getting to hang out with people because of how good this game is and how good the community is at the moment. I'm really excited about the next set 2. Chaos is going to be an interesting deck, being that size limit being 99, and you can't destroy their monsters by card effect. I think that's pretty amazing. It's pretty funny. I can't wait to see how the deck finally is when it comes out and where it's going to go when the series ends, because the villain decks always get somewhere that we honestly don't expect. Like Yami, I wasn't expecting him to do the million attack Yami with the Heaven and Earth combo. That was pretty cool. My biggest hope for this deck is to get a weapon that can have the same ability as Bats, being 4 life or less, getting triple attack and 3k. That'd be pretty cool. Be pretty funny at the same time. Right now, what I'm working on is getting some more content on my channel. I know I always say this in every one of my videos, but I do like to make videos. It's just life can get in the way, and this is a really fun thing for me to do, and I really hope you all like these videos. I hope you all tell your friends about them, and I hope we can all grow as a community on YouTube and on the game itself. And I can't wait to see a lot of y'all in regionals coming up. Again, the fall, I think Fall Fest is what they call it. I wasn't sure. I hope y'all have a great night, and hope to see more Buddy Fight channels pop up on YouTube. Bye.